Hello, everybody. Today and tomorrow we are doing two very big storm systems. This one that is currently ejecting into the plains is the first one. Going into the next few hours, this jet stream will get stronger and stronger as it goes into the Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Mississippi, and the Midwest and the North, East, South. But as this ejects, it'll start to form up into a derecho, which is like a big windstorm. That we have the possibility for violent long track tornadoes, large baseball size hail, and damaging winds up to 100 miles per hour. And behind this system in Texas, Oklahoma, and bits of Kansas and even Arkansas, we are looking at 50 to 60 to even 70 mile per hour wind gusts. But let's get back to this storm system. As this first storm system continues off to the northeast, we have this uh, part back here. So yeah, the main lows up here, but it has a lot of this jet stream behind it as well. That will bring some very significant severe weather for the southeast between Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Georgia. As the system goes on by, it just gets stronger and stronger all the way until Sunday. Let's go and go to the Ohio Valley. Here for the next few hours, storms will begin to initiate around pretty much in the next few hours. They will start strengthening and forming up later this afternoon and evening. Here's that shape of that derecho we've been talking about. We do have a few isolated cells that could develop further to the south as well, keeping a very close eye on those. But as these storms move east, particularly these storms will be the strongest, but they also be dropping a tennis ball to baseball size hail, maybe even locally a few softballs, but they'll also be producing 80 to 100 mile per hour winds, and they do bring the potential for strong, long track, violent tornadoes. But as this carries on into Saturday, they'll continue going east, but they'll weaken in the overnight hours as they progress eastward. Now going into regional United States, go to the southeast. Saturday afternoon, evening, starting from these storms that from today, Friday, as these storms head east, they will help the convection of another wave, and in the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday. And as these storms move eastward, these cells will be more isolated, will be slightly isolated in nature. And I do think this is the highest potential for long track violent tornadoes out of Friday and Saturday. But as this goes into Georgia, they should develop into more of a squall line, producing TLCS tornadoes, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour, and some smaller hail sizes. Now going into continental U.S. as a whole, we're going to be looking at dew points. Pretty much right now, there's only going to be some relatively dew points in the low 50s, but as the day progresses, and watch, here's the dry line, a very sharp dry line. But we're gonna have a lot of moisture return up the Midwest and deep South. But as that dry line progresses eastward, it kind of appears to me like it collapses a little bit. But in the deep South, we'll have 60 to even locally 70-degree dew points down here in the deep South, specifically from Mississippi and Alabama. As that goes off into Sunday and the storm goes by, the moisture will progress eastward onto the eastern coast. Oops, wait a minute. I was going to look at temperatures. Temperatures right now is at 12 Z. We do have some 60s and even upper 70s. As the day progresses, just watch how much they start to warm up. Even got 90s to even hundreds of out there in northeast Mexico and southern Texas. But we're gonna have 70s to even locally 80s here. There's an 80 from the Midwest down into the deep South. Be quiet. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna have some very warm temperatures into Saturday as well, particularly for the deep south, where temperatures will be a little warmer Saturday. As the day progresses into the overnight hours, those temperatures will start to drop off and hopefully kill off some of the storm activity. It's like a mixed layer cape. And as the afternoon and evening progresses, we'll see cape values rising significantly into the Midwest as there will be 2,000 to even 3,000 joules per kilogram from Arkansas and northern Louisiana. Now, the main derecha will be up here, but with the environment given, I don't really think it'll need that much joules. But as Saturday progresses, all that mixed layer cape will continue in the deep south, or cape, well, it's also known as instability. We're looking at 2,000 to even locally 3,000 joules per kilogram. As these storms progress eastward into Alabama, the cape is still 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. But as the day progresses afterwards, the cape will start to go back down. Okay, updraft to the city. Here's the updraft to the city. Well, it's gonna be better to go into regional areas. There we go. Looking at updraft helicity pretty much tells us where the most likely supercells in the updraft and the mesocyclones will track. This is and uh, these are going to be really active supercells if we are seeing these bright pinks and even whites in there. Those are really powerful spinning updrafts, and this gonna have a line of updrafts really, but the strongest ones will remain in southern Missouri into Illinois. As the night progresses afterwards to the Saturday early morning, these updrafts will weaken down a little bit, going into Indiana and parts of Tennessee. But going into the deep south, these updraft helicities do go up a little bit in North Louisiana, but they do seem strongest in central Mississippi. And but as they enter Alabama, they should weaken. But going into Saturday, watch these updraft velocities just skyrocket. These are what's going to cause the major issues today across the deep south with those isolated cells. And some of these cells could even be over the ocean or this Gulf of Mexico, where we could see tornadic water spouts. Let's go into National Weather Service. Here's the day one convective outlook. If it'll load. Hello? Just let that load for a minute. Hello? You're not. There we go. We had this level 4 moderate risk ranging from far northern Mississippi through parts of central and even, well, we won't say northern Illinois, but it's ranging from far northern Mississippi, western Tennessee, northeast Arkansas, up through central and eastern Missouri, all the way through central and southeastern Iowa, and that does include a good chunk of Illinois. In that area, we are expecting some long stretch violent tornadoes ranging from far north in Mississippi up through most of the Missouri and Illinois border and northeast Arkansas as well. And that 15% hatch risk is the greatest threat for tornadoes today. This is also driven by wind in that pink 45% area ranging from central to southern Illinois through eastern Missouri and much of Illinois. We are expecting 90 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts, which is enough to push over large trees, power lines, or power poles. There's severe damage to roofs and mobile homes. Looking at hail, the greatest hail risk will is the hail risk isn't the highest priority, but it still is there. And it's 30% risk ranging from far northern Mississippi into northeast Arkansas, western Tennessee, central and southeastern Missouri, and southwest Illinois. We can see tennis ball to locally even baseball size hail. And outside of that, in that black outline area, we should expect to see up to tennis ball size hail, maybe larger. But that 30% risk is the greatest threat for hail. Tomorrow, Saturday, we have another level 4 moderate risk. I do think this could be a maxed level 5 out of 5 risk by tomorrow or even this afternoon. But if it does, it'll be more tornado driven. But we do have this massive 15% risk ranging from eastern Louisiana all the way through pretty much all of Alabama, including the Florida Panhandle. Now, this is where we're expecting long track violent tornadoes, EF4s and even EF5s, and that 10% risk surrounding it, roughly in eastern Tennessee all the way through southern Louisiana and parts of northwest Florida. We are anticipating some strong tornadoes, EF2 to EF3, and outside of that, in the 2 and 5% areas, the lowest threat for tornadoes. But you should always take your tornado precautions, no matter what percentage you are in for tornadoes. Now, wind is also quite strong with a 45% area ranging in the same exact areas from eastern Louisiana through much of Alabama. In that area, we are expecting to see 90 to 100 mile per hour winds again as these storms progress eastward. And a 30% risk surrounds that 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. And from all the way up pretty much in Canada, far south, southern Canada, right here where Ohio is and Michigan, we're expecting 60 to 70 or just 60 mile per hour winds. And hail today for tomorrow, Saturday, March 15th. We aren't expecting the hail to be the biggest threat either. The greatest threat for hail will be in central to eastern Louisiana through much of Mississippi and central and western Tennessee, where the expectation for tennis ball to locally baseball size hail is expected to be at its most significant peak. Now, the flood risk today, not very high because of how fast these storms will be moving. But anyways, we have a marginal at least 5% ranging from southern Mississippi up through central and western Tennessee, western Kentucky, much of Indiana, and pretty much all of Illinois, southeastern Iowa, eastern Missouri. Not a very high threat, but as this progresses into tomorrow, we do have a level 2 slight risk here ranging from central to northeastern Mississippi through much of Tennessee, much of Kentucky, far southwestern Ohio and southeastern Indiana, and North Alabama and Georgia. And as this progresses into Sunday, big marginal risk as these storms will be mostly linear now, as squall line with the potential for TLCS tornadoes, damaging winds 60 to 80 miles per hour, and some smaller hail. Yeah, that's the National Hurricane Center. Thank you for pitching in on this. Sorry. Thank you for pitching in on this forecast for today and tomorrow with these violent tornado outbreak possible on both days. I will be making a live stream here in the next couple of hours to go live on the direct show today. I may not be able to go live tomorrow because I am going to a friend's birthday party, but when I get back and those storms will be still active in the deep south, I will go live on those.